everyone, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm your host, John. With me this week is not Michael, because he is at the Star Wars celebration this weekend. In his stead, we have replaced him. We have dug his grave for when he returns, and once he is properly buried in the ground for all eternity, he will be replaced by Ryan.
Uh-oh, those are some big shoes to fill, mainly because I'm pretty sure Michael wears clown shoes.
Wow. And Trex.
Hi, it's me, Trex. You may know me as Trex. I'm here.
That's true, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Do you have any other monikers that we may know you by, like any horrifying nicknames?
Probably Trex.
Of course. What about the podcaster formerly known as Trex?
No, that's not me.
Damn, must be someone else.
Yeah, it is.
Folks, it's been a hair-raising week, to say the least. What's been going on? I mean, every day feels like a new adventure that you walk out, feel the breeze on your face, and immediately get smacked.
Yeah.
Smacked.
Yeah, I've been nonstop ass to ankles busy with university work the last 2 weeks. That's why I wasn't on last week. I'm not sure I should even be on this week because I'm sure I have at least 5 things due by tomorrow, but you know what? I'm living life by the edge. I grabbed life by the edge, and now I'm living it that way too. I am, it's been wild, John.
Sounds like it. Ryan, it sounds like you are biting at the bit to talk about some primo video game content and or just your life.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to talk to you first.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
How are you?
You know what, John? I'm good. I ate 13 boneless buffalo wings right before we recorded this podcast, so my mouth is spicy and my opinions are spicy too. Unfortunately, my spicy opinions don't have much of an outlet this week because I haven't played almost anything that I haven't talked about on the podcast before, which is, unfortunate. But hey, maybe I'll surprise you. Maybe I'll surprise myself. Wouldn't that be nice to surprise myself?
Yes, it would.
It was a rhetorical question, John, but thank you for answering. I have played some games. I have played 2 games, to be precise. I guess I could talk about my life outside of video games, but frankly, aside from being packed tight with work, with school work and extracurricular work, not actually work, but, the subsets of work. Listen, I've played 2 games this last week. The first.
Please talk about the games. Oh my god.
See, this is how I get you. I go around in circles, and that makes you, so tired of hearing me talk that you're ready to move on to the next person, and I won't have to talk about the games that I played, because the games that I played, the first one was Nier Automata.
Yes, and?
Yes, and I finished the first route of that game. It was, like a lot of Platinum games, I felt like the pacing was a little off by the end of it. I feel like the end of the route just kind of ended, I suppose. Once you get to a certain point in that game, and I won't spoil anything for those of you who are playing it, you get kind of locked into completing the main story quest. A lot of the side quests will just kind of end, and you can't go back to them, and there's not really a whole lot of warning in the text for when that happens. You just kind of go do a thing, and everything just escalates, and suddenly you're at the end of the game. And in terms of the ending of the first path of that game, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the content of the ending. I really liked the last boss battle, and I really, really liked the ending, like the final like kind of cutscene, you know, when I'm talking about John with like you
Yes.
and 9S and all that. Like that was fucking fantastic. But then it just kind of ends, and you know, that's fine because I think one of the many brilliant parts of that game is that once you finish your first playthrough, you move on to a second playthrough where things have been kind of flipped a little bit. You're playing it from a different perspective, and again, for those of you out there who don't know what that is, who are playing the game, I won't spoil it for you, but I think they did a similar thing in the original Nier, if I remember correctly. I haven't played it, but I've read Rose's article on that on the original game. So that's really cool. I was afraid that after I played through it the first time, I maybe would be a little bit burnt out on the game, and that I wouldn't want to go into the second path until I'd given myself a little bit of time away from it. But that proved not to be the case, because as repetitive as parts of the second playthrough are, they shake up the mechanics quite a bit, I think. The main combat mechanic for the character you play as is fairly different. I mean, completely different. Not even fairly, just totally. Yeah. But it's not out of left field. Like, it's something that's kind of hinted at and you're prepared for in the first route of that game. But, I got into it. I got, like, right into the second playthrough, didn't miss a step, and I played through a little bit of that up through like the desert mission, I suppose. That's about where I am in that right now. So, you know, not super far into it, but far enough for me to kind of get a feel of what this second playthrough entails, I guess. And I feel like that's a game where continuing after you play it the first time is almost sort of a requirement in a way. Like, maybe not, but at the end of the game, when you finish it for the first time, you get a little message that's like, hey, you beat the game, but if you play it again, things will be a little bit different. And I feel like, you know, that's on one hand reminding people to, you know, hey, don't just drop this game. But on the other hand, I feel like calling it a playthrough is a little bit, it kind of subtracts from what that game is. Because I think a critical part of playing Nier is that you go through all of the playthroughs, like all of the routes. And that in itself becomes the first playthrough in a way. Like there are different routes, obviously, but I think they should be taken holistically as like a whole game instead of one 13-hour game that you play through multiple times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's so different. Like you do end up playing as multiple different characters. Like, if I remember correctly, I think the original Nier, it's not as varied as this one, but at the very least, you do get to play as multiple different characters with different fighting styles, and their story is different, and you get to see, like, I would say the second playthrough is definitely the most similar. Because, you know, you're just kind of seeing things through someone else's eyes, but
yeah,
as you continue, things get more and more different, and more things open up to you, and shit gets wild.
Oh yeah,
shit gets real wild. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, I am.
Me too.
I've heard that after the B route, that things really, like you said, kind of shake up, and I'm excited for it. So hopefully by the time I'm on the podcast next, which, you know, maybe next week, maybe not, it'll just depend. Hopefully I'll have, you know, progressed through a decent amount of all that and be able to talk about more playthroughs than just the second one, because it is very similar, because like you said, it's just a different perspective. And, you know, it's an interesting different perspective. I really liked the opening cutscene to the second playthrough, where you're in like the factory and you're like watching the machines and all that. Again, I'll try to like tiptoe around it as best I can, just not to spoil anything. But like with that cutscene, I was like, okay, this is not going to be as boring as I thought it might be, knowing what I knew about that second playthrough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm really happy with that. I've been pleasantly surprised by that game. That was something I played the demo of, but I didn't think I would buy until much later this year. But I kind of, it was an impulse purchase, and I don't regret it. That game is really great. I'm sure we've talked about it quite a bit on the podcast, at least, because I know a handful of us have been playing it. Really stellar game. And the second game I've been playing this week is also a stellar game, in my opinion, at least, but it came out last year, and that is Overwatch. Yeah, don't everybody applaud at once for Overwatch.
Fuck Overwatch.
Yeah.
Once again, Overwatch rears its ugly head.
It's ugly, super entertaining head that I love playing with my roommates and spectating it and just wasting time on it. I haven't played a whole lot of Overwatch this last week. I've played just enough to kind of dip into the new event that they're doing right now, which I will actually discuss a little later on in the podcast, I think. I got that sweet purple Bastion skin that has like the orange lights on it that I loved to death. It reminds me of something the color scheme does, but I don't quite remember what it is. Suffice to say, I think it's really cool. And I don't really know what else I have to say about Overwatch that won't kind of encroach on the discussion I was going to bring up later in the podcast, which will be our semi-monthly, I guess, bi-weekly, Overwatch watch. So, I haven't had a whole lot going on this last week. Trex, Scott, and I recorded a Night in the Woods spoiler cast, which went really well. Hopefully, I say hopefully, but almost certainly that will be up on the site by the time this episode of the podcast goes out. So, if you played Night in the Woods, you're looking to hear some conversation about it, then, maybe check that out. If you haven't played Night in the Woods, first of all, maybe don't listen to this podcast, and second of all, maybe go play that game because it's great. In terms of other stuff I've played this week, I think that's pretty much it. I've been wanting to kind of dip into Persona 5 because I do have it, but I also wanted to get through more of Nier before I really dived into that, because the last thing I wanted was to, get caught up in this 80-hour RPG and just leave Nier unfinished for the near future. So, it'll be a little while before you'll hear about Persona 5 from me, but suffice to say, I'm sure I will have some spicy hot takes on that game once I get around to it.
Alright, thanks a bunch.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to throw in before we move on?
Not really. My only advice is don't eat 13 boneless buffalo wings before sitting down to record a podcast, because you will suffer. And with that, I will pass it back off to you, John.
Thank you. Trex, how you doing?
I'm good. So this week, I was on the last podcast, I think. It was the last one. I'm starting to lose track of time anymore, so...
I think we all are.
Yeah, my weeks have gotten just, repetitive with just working and then sleeping on my days off and not really doing much. This week I worked. I slept. We recorded the Night in the Woods spoiler cast, which Ryan already mentioned. And I bought Ukulele, which may or may not have been a $40 mistake. But I was very excited for the release. No. So I've been playing that, and I've been trying to finish Breath of the Wild. So I've kind of just been busy with video games lately. I've also kind of been wanting to pick up another game on Steam, but I feel like I need to finish Ukulele before anything, and probably Breath of the Wild after that. But Ukulele's my top priority, which I'm just kind of trudging through. Oh.
Wow, that bad.
Yep. Oh my god.
Now this is a surprise, because you were really talking that game up. At least you were talking about how excited you were that you really like Banjo-Kazooie.
I have such a soft spot for collectathon platformer games. They just remind me of my childhood, and then
Yeah.
you know, you get connected to something like Banjo-Kazooie, and then some of the people who have worked on it decide that they're going to make this game, Yooka-Laylee, and you just think that your childhood's going to be remastered, basically.
Sure.
And I don't know, like, the only way I can really compare it is if you grew up with, like, Disney movies, and then you went and saw the live action, like, Beauty and the Beast, and you were just thoroughly disappointed, and it just felt like your childhood was never going to come back again, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I had hope. Like, people were releasing reviews about Yooka-Laylee, and my friends were like, you gotta read the reviews because everybody's just saying it's terrible, it's bad, it's garbage. And I was like, you know what? There's a lot of things that I really, really enjoy that other people haven't liked.
Sure.
And, you know, even if it's not the greatest game, I'm sure there's going to be some highlights in it, at least for me, or at least some definite nostalgia somewhere in it. But, yeah, it's... I've just been playing it, and I don't want to play it, but I know I have to finish it for everybody's sake and for my sake. And
for the fate of humanity.
Oh my god. Yeah, just stepping into the game, like, the first 5 minutes were the worst 5 minutes of my life. And I think I'm about 4 hours into it now, and I'm on the third world now, and it's so... I have just this giant list in my head and in a word pad about everything I don't like about it. And I was like telling myself, you know, remember to highlight things that you do like about it, because every game has some good points to it.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've written down one highlight to this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are some highlights of the lowlights, if you will? Like what are some things that really stand out as being poor to you about this game?
Well, I think the first thing that definitely hits you when you start it is just the movements and the camera, and it's so slippery and hard to control. And the very, very beginning of the game, like, you wake up and blah, 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 you just, like, it's kind of like a tutorial area, but the whole time I'm, like, trying to figure out how to move my joystick so that my character goes in the direction that I want him to. And it's weird because then you get into the first world, the first actual world, instead of this tutorial area, and everything's firm. Like, it's fine. He goes wherever you want him to, and it's like, so, I don't know, it's almost like the first world was made by somebody completely different, you know? It's
interesting.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that bothers me is just that the worlds and Hivory Towers and the opening area, they all seem so unfinished. There's so much space. There's just, like, it's not filled up enough, you know? And everything's very scattered and unorganized, and it's just hard to navigate. I feel like with games like Banjo-Kazooie, and I hate to, like, compare this game to Banjo-Kazooie, because it is a brand new game. I know that they were taking a lot of inspiration from it and, you know, trying to earn that nostalgia for past fans, but it's just, like, Banjo-Kazooie kind of had, like, a map going on for them. Like, there was a trail that you could follow, and it was very easy to navigate and find things.
Yeah, it's like the difference between, you know, having this collectathon and this tight, focused, you know, like you said, mapped world, and then just kind of plopping this space down like a bunch of mashed potatoes and saying, okay, now scatter the bacon bits and go collect them, more or less. Like, if you follow my drift, like, there's a difference from what I understand that you're saying between what Banjo-Kazooie was, which is, like, focused, and this, which is just all over the place.
Absolutely, for sure. The first two areas, the first two worlds, the tomes, are what they're called, because they're in, like, books. You go inside these books.
Gotcha.
They're extremely scattered, and there's so much room to put more things in that they didn't take advantage of that, and it's so hard to find like the characters that you need to talk to, and like in Banjo-Kazooie it was like music notes that you would collect, and then in this game it's quills, and you know, the music notes would be like lined up at least in like pairs of threes, and then they try to do the same thing with the quills, but they're just like really scattered and not organized, and it's just a complete mess. It's that game is such it's so bad. Like, it makes me so nervous talking about it. And then I got to the third world recently, and that's where I am currently. And the third world is like the complete opposite. It's actually too cluttered. There's too much going on. It's man, like, I just remember like seeing that they were like starting this game, and I was just so excited, and I had so many expectations in my head, and maybe that's where I went wrong. But I know for a fact that I'm not the only person who feels like this.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel like this is something that could have been fixed with more dev time, or do you think that this was something that they just had the wrong idea from the get-go?
I think from the start, they definitely had the right idea. Like, the concept was great, but when it came down to it, the game kind of feels rushed almost. Like, I do feel like if they gave it a little more time, that it could have been something better. But I don't know. I know that there was a lot of issues with the development in general. I don't know specifics exactly, but
sure.
You know, I don't think 2 years was enough for this game at all.
I see. That's a bummer. That's a huge bummer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little disappointing. Like, I was never into Banjo-Kazooie or anything like that. Like, I never even played, you know, Mario 64 or anything like that on the Nintendo 64. But, you know, when something like this gets released, and there's obviously so many people who are attached to the source material, attached to the nostalgia for this kind of game, like, I wanted this game to succeed. But the fact that it hasn't is, you know, a little disappointing, even to me, who's not a fan. I mean, I would say it's the same kind of thing as Mighty Number 9, but I feel like that's a bit of a different beast. But the nostalgia and, you know, wanting something that's been dormant for so long to succeed is still there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I apologize, Trex, for your ukulele disappointment.
I did try to play it without the Banjo-Kazooie bias that I have, but I don't even think it's a game that I could enjoy if I didn't have that bias. Like, sure. It's just...
Wow.
It's not a game that I could just play leisurely, you know? That's
a real shame.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you played anything else?
Not that I can think of. I'm still working on Breath of the Wild, which I mentioned. I'm kind of slowly getting through that because I'm exploring every single detail of every single area. And, you know, Scott will message me and he'll be like, hey, I found this in this area. And I'll be like, oh, I've never seen that. I'm going to go make my way completely across the map and try to find what you found. And then I take pictures
Seems
of
like
animals.
An interesting way to go.
Yeah, I guess. I've been working on the memory quest thing where you like have to go to the spots that are like glowing and recall your memories or whatever. But it is so difficult. Like, I cannot look at these pictures and be like, oh, I know where that is.
Yeah.
And I've read like kind of walkthroughs or walkthrough articles, or I don't know. I've just seen like tips on how to find them, and they're like, just look for the glowing area. And I'm like, I can't find the glowing areas even when I'm 100% certain that this is the area that I need to be in. Like, yeah. I don't know.
Shit's small. Like,
it is. They're acting like it's the pins, you know? I can't just like look through my scope and see this glowing ray of light. Like, you really have to search for it. I also think my horse died. I can't find him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But other than that, weird. I've kind of been considering replaying Night in the Woods after our Night in the Woods podcast. But
yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah, I just kind of miss it. I was trying to watch playthroughs of it on YouTube, and I was just like, it's not the same. Like, I really just want to play this for myself again, even though it's such a long game, but, you know, it's a good game.
That actually reminds me, I got a code for Night in the Woods, so...
Oh, hell yeah.
I should play that.
Yeah, you should, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It'll touch your
do
soul.
That tonight. Good. So, anything else you want to touch on, Trex?
No, I think that's about it. My life is just the same old, going to work, sleeping, video games, and all my feelings just revolve around ukulele right now, which I could talk about for hours.
We'll do a ukulele spoiler cast, except we spoil your high expectations of the game.
I cry live on the podcast.
I mean, I'm sure that if you really want to go in on that game, we would love to have a review on the site if that's something you can do, maybe?
Oh yeah, I plan on it.
Sure. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you for sharing, and we'll definitely touch upon that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So as for moi, it's really, just been Zelda. I also, we'll talk about it during the news, but that demo for Puyo Puyo Tetris came out.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I played a lot of that. Holy shit, I love Puyo Puyo Tetris so much.
Yeah, everything...
I just went over to a friend's place, and we just played that, and it was so good. Yeah,
you and Michael have spoken very highly of that game, and I'm a little sad I don't have a Switch, because I would play it just for Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Hey, it's coming out on PS4 as well.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah, hop on that shit, dude. It's only $40 too, so it's not a full price game.
I'll have to actually check it out. I know enough about Puyo Puyo Tetris, but I haven't really looked at it, I guess. So I should probably actually check it out before I, drop the money on that. Although I do trust your and Michael's opinions very highly, so I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of all I've been really up to. I'm gonna play through Night in the Woods. I've decided that I'm going to double down on actually finishing Nier, because I'm still real bummed about having to basically make up 40 hours of my life that were flushed down the toilet, but you know what? Shit happens.
Yeah.
I gotta try again.
Was that intentional toilet shit?
No.
Oh.
No.
You're a genius.
Yeah, it's, sometimes sometimes genius works in surprising ways.
Just gonna let that one hang in the air.
Oh my god. Jeez. Let's move on to news. Ryan, why don't you take this one first?
Alright, yeah, so as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, it is time for Overwatch Watch. This week on Overwatch Watch, the teased and leaked game mode, the Uprising event, has started. Woo! And Niall knitted in one of those like party clackers where it's whenever I spin it. I'm sure that was a great impression. But anyway, the Uprising mode's out. It is a PvE event, somewhat similar to the Junkenstein's Revenge thing they did back in October, except better in a lot of ways, I think. So apparently this is a story event, and I put story in very heavy air quotes because keep in mind this is Overwatch, where you play as Torbjorn, Mercy, Tracer, and Reinhardt in Tracer's first mission in Overwatch, and fight against the killer Omnics, who were sent out by some people named Null Sector, who I guess are evil. Fuck it, you're shooting at robots, it's man versus machine, except not. So I haven't played a lot of this yet. My roommate has, because he's really into PvE stuff. Like, when I got Overwatch, like, almost a year ago at this point, he was disappointed that there was not a PvE mode. So he's played it, he's enjoyed it. The event runs until May 1st, so those of you who are out for those special skins, you know, you can get on it. And speaking of which, some of those skins are bad. I don't love them. I unlocked the Reinhardt one that just kind of makes him blue in a crate, and I was like, okay, this is okay, I guess, but I wouldn't pay 3,000 gold for a lot of these legendary skins. I do like the Genji one, just because he's got like wires coming out of the back of his head, and that's like the fucking tightest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I like the Bastion one where he's purple now, because I fucking love purple and orange color schemes. And, you know, just more content from Overwatch. I'm sure some people will love it, just these like skins that they're putting out. Trex, I know you wrote this up, and you weren't exactly pleased with some of the skins they released, but they're also lazy. Have... Yeah, they are lazy. I know you did mention Widowmaker in that article, and they did release like a new Widowmaker skin where she's no longer blue, I guess. Hanzo, I don't know. I think, you know, I'm glad Overwatch is still putting in these events. I'm glad that they're not being like Team Fortress 2, where they just wait like a year between every event that they do. I'm happy that they're putting this stuff out for the community, but I also agree that a little more effort could go into some of this, especially if you're making people pay 3,000 gold for some of these skins. I know a lot of it has to do with like, oh, it's an event exclusive, so you know it's gonna be expensive and such, but they're not. Aside from the fact that they're event exclusives, I don't think a lot of them are really worth the price of admission. I think Tracer looks like an airline attendant. Torbjorn has that horrible skin where he doesn't have a beard. He looks like he's come to like fix my plumbing and shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But the event itself, I find to be pretty entertaining. I'm not a huge PvE fan, but I did play it. I appreciated how kind of streamlined and kinetic the whole thing is. I also like how it kind of combines a lot of the modes from the rest of the game. Like, you know, first you hit these objectives, then you cap the point, then you move the payload, then you like take out these 3 mini bosses and that kind of stuff. And it's definitely if you're into PvE stuff, I think it's definitely worth playing. My roommate has just like guzzled it down, like he's eating it up with a spoon. I think it's good. I think it's fun. I'm personally hoping that they keep some kind of PvE mode like this around after the event, because they have the 4-person thing where you're, you know, the canonical Overwatch heroes, but then they also have the 4-person kind of play as any heroes mode, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kept that around after this event. I think it'd be cool, but, you know, Blizzard, as inscrutable as they are, who knows what they're going to do with that. And there was one other comment that I wanted to make about it, but I can't remember. But I will say that, and, you know, this may be a little bit of a leap of logic on my part, but this game mode kind of feels like Overwatch, the theme park ride, in a way. So follow me on this. Like, you know, you have regular Overwatch, where it's like, you know, 6-person teams, play as any hero, you're up against each other. But this version, you know, in the canonical version, you play as 4 select heroes in their special blue outfits. You kind of go from like place to place, and the characters are like talking to you like, "Good work, cadet. Now move on to the next area and shoot these robots." And it reminds me of, I don't know how familiar you two are with like Disney parks and Disney attractions, but if sure. Michael was here, he'd be with me on this. It feels like the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin at Magic Kingdom and Disney World, where Buzz like comes on the intercom and he's like, "Good work, space cadets, you beat the aliens." And it's like, this is what this mode of Overwatch feels like to me.
God.
Like, it's very constructed, very linear, but it's also pretty fun to play. And it's so cheesy just hearing like Soldier 76 and Reaper before he was Reaper just like bantering over the intercom, like, haha, remember when we were friends? Like that kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't think there's much else I can say about it. It's got a few modes. It's like normal, hard, very hard, and legendary or something.
Legendary.
Yeah, I've played normal. It's pretty easy. I watched my roommate play hard, and it's ridiculous. Like there's a pretty high difficulty spike, but this mode is also a lot more focused on teamwork since there's only 4 of you. So it's interesting. I like it. I'd like to see what else Blizzard can do with PvE in Overwatch, because so far they've had the Junkenstein's Revenge, which wasn't amazing, and then this, which I think is a much better improvement on that. So, you know, maybe we'll see some more PvE stuff coming out of Overwatch. I think that'd be interesting. Regardless of what they do, it's got to be a better game mode than Lucio Ball was last summer. I hated that game mode. I don't know if any of y'all played it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actively didn't.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
It sucked.
I'm also... Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all there is to say about that. And, you know, I'm hoping that they'll bring back some of the events that they did last year. Like, I do hope they do the Summer Games thing again, but, God, I don't want it if it has Lucio Ball. Like, that's my one caveat. Like, I love those dumb Olympic skins they all have, but fucking Lucio Ball. Anyway, that's this month's Overwatch watch. We've got some PvE, a cool purple skin for Bastion and Orisa is still a great character who I have fallen in love with. So there's the news. Do with it as you will.
Thank you very much. Trex.
Yes. That's me.
It's your turn, my friend. Why don't you tell us what's going on?
It definitely is my turn.
In your neck of the woods.
What? Excuse you?
Your neck of the woods.
My neck of the woods?
Yeah.
More like my
Yes.
night in the woods. Am I
come
right,
on, damn
fellas?
Beat me to it.
Okay, time for the news. Nintendo is unfortunately discontinuing the NES Classic Edition. It originally launched in the fall. I don't know if any of you have it. I kind of doubt it, to be honest, because I completely forgot it existed. But they, Nintendo did confirm that this month this is the last shipment that they're putting out, and, you know, once that's done, it's done. So, like, if you haven't gotten it and you do want it, you should probably get it. I'm probably not going to get it because I have a regular NES that still mostly works. I do have to fidget with it quite constantly to play one game, but, you know, it's still good. I don't know. I kind of hope that in the future they put it out again or something, but people are now just taking it and reselling it for ridiculous money. Like, they're selling it for, I think John mentioned earlier, $1,000 now.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen it, it's this dinky little tiny console. It's just a plug and play thing. So obviously it's not going to be that much. 1,000 is a little over the top, but people have been doing that with the Switch. I don't know if you guys have tried to purchase a Switch on eBay before, but they're selling it for like $1,000 to $5,000 on eBay.
Why? I could go on Amazon right now and get one for like MSRP.
Right?
Like,
yeah, people are crazy.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating that Nintendo is handling this the way that it is, because this is something that they could just like keep pumping out, just have them all over the stores, and people just be like, "Oh, I'll just pick it up because it was $30." It's like, or no, $60.
Oh,
that's still crazy cheap.
It's $60. It's $2 per game because there's 30 games on it, and like, sure, there's some stinkers on there, like, but it's neat. It's a neat little toy, and it's still just crazy that they just didn't just have those like in like the Bed Bath and Beyond and stuff. You know, like have moms just be like, "Oh, I'll just buy that for my kid," or just like older people that are just like, "Oh, I'm getting this to remember my childhood." You know, it's nuts that they didn't capitalize on that, and instead treated this like some kind of limited edition collector's item.
Yeah. I mean, they can't be very expensive to manufacture. I mean, come on, like, I don't know. I don't have anything to add, but I agree with you very, very aggressively, John. So
the rumor is that, I mean, it's less rumor, more speculation, that they're canceling this because of how easy it was to break into it. Like,
really?
People very quickly got into the guts of that thing and basically reprogrammed it to just upload whatever ROMs you want onto it. And like it started off being like, oh, we could just swap the ROMs out, so we could it's still only 30 games, but you know, you could put whatever you want on there from the NES library. Then people started just loading every single NES game on there. Then people started running like Super Nintendo games off of it. Like it got wild real fast. And I can kind of understand why Nintendo's skeevy about that. Like, Nintendo has a lot of problems with that. Like, they just recently put out like $100,000 bounty to make sure that the 3DS and the Switch doesn't get broken.
Holy shit.
But still.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they expected.
No,
I don't do that stuff, and I can see that it's probably an easy thing to do on this dinky little system. And they're just like, Nintendo's kind of defending themselves and just saying that this was their plan all along. You know, this wasn't going to be an ongoing thing. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not owned. I yell as I slowly shrink into a corn cob.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the most frustrating thing is that the people that actually would want to buy this thing casually, which is like who Nintendo should be targeting with it, are the worst affected by it, because all these scalpers went out and grabbed this thing up ASAP, and anyone who, like, basically the only people who own the NES Classic right now are scalpers and people that modded it. Yeah. And it's like, those people that were gonna mod it were mod all kinds of shit. Like, they go out and buy Raspberry Pis, they just download all the NES games onto their computer. Like, I don't know, like, it's not like they're gonna stop anyone when it's just this rinky-dink little NES thing, and it's punishing the average consumer for something that a lot of people are gonna do anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Sounds like Nintendo.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's my turn. So speaking of Nintendo, though, on some I don't know if I'd say more positive note, but just definitely a more Nintendo note. They had a Nintendo Direct very recently, and the first one in a while. And oh boy, it was mixed bag. Mixed bag. So instead of your average Nintendo Direct where it sort of just jumps around and they talk about things for way too long, instead they decided to trim it down a little bit and sort of just focus on headlines and really giving you only the most basic details, so it's not just sitting there talking about some fucking $3 eShop game for 20 minutes. And they also separated it into two segments. The first segment was all 3DS games, and the second segment was all Switch games. So I'll start off talking about the 3DS games. The first thing they showed off was that side-scrolling Pikmin game that looked like shit. It's called Hey Pikmin now.
Like Hey You Pikachu?
It's Hey! Exclamation point Pikmin.
Oh shit! And Pikmin.
Oh fuck Pikmin! Holy shit! It still looks like donkey turds, but you know, whatever. I'm sure that they're gonna make an actual Pikmin 4 for the Switch. So, you know, as long as it's not like Pikmin is on an ultimatum like Chibi Robo was, where they were like, oh well, this game sold poorly, so series is canceled now because that's what happened to Chibi Robo, and that fucking kills me. But it's still a bummer that they're like, oh, people like Pikmin. People are going to want to play this very basic side-scroller with Pikmin in it because they just like the Pikmin, right?
Mm-hmm. The Pikmin,
No.
Of course.
No. But yeah, there's also going to be an amiibo that comes out with this game. It has every different type of Pikmin. So I'm probably going to end up buying the amiibo at least because
Nice.
I love Pikmin and I want to at least own the amiibo.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't. We'll see. We'll see how the game. If it's actually a pretty good side scroller, I'll give it a shot. But I'm gonna wait for reviews.
Yeah.
It's coming out July 28th. So if you're interested in that, there you go.
No.
Another game that was yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Another game that they talked about was Ever Oasis. You'll remember that as like the only other game they talked about during E3 last year other than Zelda or Pokemon.
Shit, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, exactly. It's an RPG by Grezzo, which let me hang on. Grezzo.
That's like a pizza parlor in Queens, right? Like Grezzo's Pizza.
No.
Grezzo's okay.
I just googled it. They are the people that made all of the 3DS ports of the Zelda games.
Oh, okay.
So like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D, and they also made Triforce Heroes, and that game sucked. So
wow.
Oh yeah.
Koichi Ishii is the CEO and president of that game, and he worked on the Mana series. So this is an RPG, so that might actually be good news. It's basically just about like saving an oasis town from disaster. And I don't know. There's not really too much info about that game. They're being really weird about it. But we'll probably hear some more about it because it's coming out June 23rd.
Ah.
So that's not that far away.
No.
If I remember correctly, I don't think that this was announced for the US, but they've been talking about this in Japan for ages. This game called Miitopia, which the best way to describe it, Rose in her write-up for the Nintendo Direct describes it as a cross between the Street Pass Mii Plaza RPG game and Tomodachi Life.
Interesting.
It kind of has an interesting premise where it's an RPG where you play as Miis. Like, your party is all like your different Miis that you have in your 3DS. And you don't actively control your party. Instead, they do things based on how they feel about the other characters in your party.
Okay.
So, for example, they'll attack, and then if they don't have good repertoire with the rest of the party, they might accidentally slip up and like smack someone in the party with a sword or like cast a spell that accidentally blows everybody up. But if they're all friends, then they'll do like a combo move or they'll heal each other and stuff like that, and you help them become friends by like doing like Tomodachi Life style like friend banter and stuff like that. You could put them in a room and they'll exercise together or they'll read a story together, and it's just all dumb, silly stuff. But
sure,
I don't know. It seems like one of those games where everyone's gonna enjoy it for like 2 weeks because they're gonna get all kinds of dumb screenshots, or they're gonna be like, "Oh man, here's Reggie talking to fucking Drill, and they're doing push-ups. That's real stupid."
Yeah.
And then like after that, it's gonna be like, "Oh well, okay."
Yeah, I was gonna say Miitomo, like, I never bought it because I didn't want to spend $40 on a game that I knew I was only gonna play for a few hours and enjoy only when I'm around my friends. And Miitopia just seems like another game that's going to be like that. Like, I feel like the Mii stuff should be left for, like, the Nintendo 3DS Street Passes, or, like, the app on the iPhone, I think is fine, too.
Yeah.
But I don't think dropping $40
it's gotta be
on a game
cheap
like
or
that.
free.
Yeah, exactly.
Some other stuff that they announced. Some quick, like, localization news. The definitive edition of Yokai Watch 2 I forget what that one's called. Rose didn't put that down. I think
isn't it like Fleshy Souls or like Bony Bodies or something like that?
No, those are the like, because there's two, like, there's Fleshy Souls and hang on, Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls, and then there is going to be the third version, which is the expanded like complete edition called Psychic Specters.
Ooh, that's a cool name.
Yeah. So, if you're interested in Yokai Watch, I guess that's the one to get. There is the next Monster Hunter game called Monster Hunter Stories, which I think is more of like a monster battler and less of a like, an actual Monster Hunter game.
Sure.
And then there's Coldcept Revolver, which is a strategy card game. And Yokai Watch is all three of these games are slated for the fall, but Coldcept is specifically August 29th. There is also RPG Maker Fez, F-E-S, which if you've ever played an RPG Maker game, it's just basically just software that lets you make an RPG. But the neat thing about this, though, that I really wasn't expecting, but it's cool, is that not only is that being released, but there will also be a separate app for the 3DS that will be free, that will just let you download your friends' RPGs.
That's cool.
So you could just play through other people's RPGs that they make. So that's really neat.
Yeah.
There's also, they also talked about they barely talked about it, they just kind of mentioned that there's going to be a season pass for the next Fire Emblem game, and the last Box Boy game, called Bye Bye Box Boy, is out now.
Wow.
So go check out that. I've heard so many good things about Box Boy.
Yeah, me too.
You should definitely check that out. There was an amiibo in Japan. I guess they're not bringing that over, which is a shame because it was really cute. So the last 3DS things that they talked about were, they mentioned that it was Kirby's 25th anniversary. So 3 Kirby games were announced. One of them is out now. It's called Team Kirby Clash Deluxe, which is just an expanded upon version of the Team Kirby Clash minigame from Planet Robobot.
Mm-hmm.
It's free to start, and I mean, I don't know what that means. I haven't tried it yet, but it's free to start. And then you pick from 4 different Kirbys, and you try to get through like a bunch of missions.
Okay.
There was also Kirby's Blowout Blast, which is also another Planet Robobot minigame that's expanded upon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming out in the summer. And then they also announced a multiplayer action Kirby game for the holiday. And that's all they said. So honestly, that kind of sounds like they're really shafting Kirby on his 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like shit. I'm sorry, Kirby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they're doing this to you, dude. You deserve better.
Yeah, part of me is like, why are they still making Kirby games? And the other part of me is really, really excited for Kirby.
Yeah.
I love Kirby games.
I do too, but I'm still like baffled that they're like just throwing this out there. There's still like 100 Kirby games I haven't played yet, but
the only one I've ever played was Canvas Curse.
I have played almost every Kirby game. The good ones are Kirby's Dream Land 3, Superstar Ultra, 64, Triple Deluxe, and I haven't played Robobot yet, but I've heard so many people say that Robobot's amazing. So, Robobot. And a lot of people don't like Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I think that game's okay. But I'd give that a shot. And then I'm not really a fan of like the ones where like Kirby's a sphere and you're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Whatever. So that's it for the 3DS section. We still have Switch stuff to talk about here.
Damn.
Not a lot.
Yeah. So first up is the release date for ARMS was announced. That is coming out June 16th. They showed a shit ton of footage for that game. Too much, in fact. It went on for a while, and I got real bored because, it was really long. They announced a new character called Min Min. She is a girl with ramen noodles for arms.
Interesting.
And if you charge up her left punch, it turns into a dragon.
Oh my god.
And then other than that, they just showed like a match, and I don't know. That game seems fun, but it's also it also seems like it's really boring to watch. So I'm crossing my fingers that Nintendo doesn't think that this is going to be some sort of esport.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
Then they kind of ran down a bunch of games that are coming to the Switch. Most of them are pretty small. There's going to be a Monopoly game on Switch.
Hell yeah!
Great.
Fucking love
play
Monopoly.
Monopoly?
No, I do.
Okay. Alright, that's coming out in the fall, though, if you want to play Monopoly. There's Fate Extella. If you see a random big titty anime lady on your Twitter feed, there's like a 90% chance that it's from the Fate series.
Oh?
So that's coming to the Switch on July 25th. That game's already out on PS4, if I remember correctly. I have some friends who are really into Fate, and they thought that it wasn't that great. So take that how you will.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to play like a Muso like button mash slice 'em up game, that seems like an okay one of those, I guess. They announced a new Namco Museum collection.
Nice.
Which is basically just the same Namco Museum collection that you would expect. Like, they got Dig Dug, they got Pac-Man, they got Galaga.
Mm-hmm.
They do have some interesting choices, though. Like, they're finally putting Splatterhouse into one of those. Like, the original arcade Splatterhouse.
Holy shit.
So that's cool.
I need to switch now.
And there's also, like, some challenges and bonus modes and all that stuff. So that'll be cool. If you're into like arcade games like that, like I am, like I'll probably pick it up. But there will also be modes where you can like set up your Switch so it's sideways, and you can play it long like that way, so it looks like an arcade machine. Except I actually don't know how you would set that up, because your Switch would probably be like falling over. That kind of sounds bad. Some other smaller games that they announced. Rayman Legends is getting a definitive edition on the Switch, which seems to just be Rayman Legends again, but with like some versus mode stuff. I don't know. They are doing a port of Sina Mora called Sina Mora EX. I remember that was one of the first video games I ever reviewed.
Really?
And, yes, that game was made by, it was Grasshopper Manufacture and someone else. I don't remember off the top of my head. But, obviously being me, I was excited for it. But I remember not being too wowed by it. I thought, like the shooting is good. It's a side-scrolling shooter. The shooting is good. And the hook is interesting because it's the whole hook is that it's all based around like time manipulation. So you can rewind, fast forward, stop time, all that kind of stuff, just depending on which character you're playing as. But the thing I really didn't like, at least what I remember I don't like, is that like they tried to write this story about like war and like moral ambiguity. And I just felt like it was written really poorly.
Wait.
And I don't know, maybe that was just me at the time not really understanding. Maybe I'll give it another shot and actually, get it.
Yeah.
That was like 5 years ago.
I seem to remember you mentioning this game before. Is this the one that has the anthropomorphic animals in it, or am I thinking of something else? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they're all anthro characters. There is also Battle Chasers Night War, which I don't know anything about that. There is Project Mukaru, which seems to just be a game where you're it's like it's basically I don't know what's it called. It's like that game where you like you put a pog down and then it flips all the other pogs to be the same color as you.
Uh-huh.
It's just that. And they also announced they also said that there's going to be even more Neo Geo games coming to the Switch.
Cool.
And one of them is Guru Mark of the Wolves!
Hell yeah.
Yes!
I know you're all about that.
So, I'll have my 2 favorite Neo Geo games on the Switch once that comes out, because I'll have that and Neo Turf Masters, so I'll be set. They also announced that Payday 2 is going to be on the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
I kind of don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I have...
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I don't think Payday 2 is a bad game. It's very weird.
It's an odd choice.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? More power to him.
Yeah.
I'm honestly interested to see what kind of content is going to come to that game. Who knows if they're going to be like, oh, we're going to have the John Wick pack, because there's the John Wick pack, the Hotline Miami pack, and all that stuff. Who knows? I would be especially surprised if there's Nintendo stuff in there. I could see a Bowser mask or something like that in that game. That would be
pretty cool, actually.
But who knows? I mean, Nintendo has been getting a little bit more lax with their characters showing up in for mature stuff, how Bayonetta wore all those princess outfits and had Bowser in that too. So who knows how it goes. They also put some more release dates out. The Disgaea 5 Complete Edition is coming out May 25th, and we'll have a demo before then.
Lord, thank you. I'm so excited for that.
Have you played Disgaea 5 before?
No, but Disgaea is
are you
so
into
good.
Disgaea?
Yes, I love Disgaea so much.
All right,
It's so good.
Puyo Puyo Tetris's demo is out, so I would advise you go get that if you have a Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is April 28th, and it has improved battle mode and some other online features like tournaments and a mode that will just dump you into a random battle mode or a random race.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers will be May 26th. And they're still charging too much for that game, so don't buy it. At least not until it's $15, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah.
Minecraft is going to be on the Switch on the 11th of May.
Of course it is.
So, if you're 12, you can go get that, I guess. And finally, there was a good chunk of Splatoon 2 news. Splatoon 2 is coming out on July 21st. And they showed a new mode called, what was it called? It was something salmon. I don't know exactly what it was, but it's basically horde mode, where you're just killing these salmon enemies. It's a PvE thing, just like how we're talking about with Overwatch, where it's you and 3 other people. So it's 4-player, killing these enemies and picking up these salmon eggs and then dumping them into a container in the middle of the map. So at least there is some sort of co-op game in Splatoon 2, which is cool. There wasn't really a co-op mode in Splatoon 1, so that's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I never played the first Splatoon, but now that I have a Switch, I can play Splatoon, so I'm excited.
Totally. So the other things that they talked about were that they are putting out new amiibo, a new Inkling Girl, a new Inkling Boy, and a new Squid. And it's pretty much the same thing, where they'll have the gear that are locked to those amiibos. And, and you'll be able to save your outfits onto the amiibos. So if you, go to somebody's house and you want to play Splatoon with them, you can do that.
Ooh.
Just a couple other things that they mentioned real quick. They are going to start selling standalone Switch docks for $90 in limited quantities on May 19th, in case you want to do that. It's $90 if you just want an extra dock. There will also be neon yellow Joy-Cons.
Fuck yeah, there will be. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's coming out alongside ARMS.
Yeah.
Which, as I mentioned previously, that'll be June 16th.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my Game Boy Color was the neon yellow one, and so I've always been super weak for, like, neon yellow stuff, and I'll be honest, seeing those neon yellow Joy-Con controllers, I was like, this kind of makes me want to buy a Switch. Like, not even related to the games, I just love that color.
They're real nice. But yeah, so that's going to be same day as ARMS, and they are also putting out a battery pack accessory for the Joy-Cons.
Interesting.
Which is kind of crazy because the Joy-Cons already last like 3 days. So I don't really know why they're doing that. Like, if they put out a battery pack for the actual Switch, I would probably end up buying that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But they're doing that for the Joy-Cons, so I don't know. They also announced a couple more amiibo. The last batch of Smash Bros. Amiibos are coming out on July 21st. So that's Corrin, Bayonetta, and Cloud. They have standard versions, which are the ones that you see, like, male Corrin, Bayonetta, 2 Bayonetta, and Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. Those are going to be available everywhere. But, female Corrin, Bayonetta 1 Bayonetta, and Advent Children Cloud are going to be retail exclusive. If I remember correctly, I think Cloud is Amazon. No, Cloud is GameStop, Bayonetta is Amazon, and I think Corrin might be Best Buy.
Huh.
Interesting.
Don't quote me on that. I would just look that up.
Yeah.
And there are also going to be 3 more Zelda amiibos on June 23rd, and that will be Majora's Mask Link, Skyward Sword Link, and Twilight Princess Link.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cool.
And they didn't say what those would do for Breath of the Wild, but I'm sure that they will do something. Whew, and that's your Nintendo Direct rundown. Whew.
That's a lot.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, it was.
Good work, John. taking this to Nintendo Town. Nintentown, I guess. I don't know. You ready for questions?
Yes, Ryan, please take us to the questions.
All right, I will take you down to the question city where the asks are white and the anons are shitty. Listen, all right, it's time for questions. You can send questions to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, or you can email them to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. We've definitely got some questions on the Tumblr tonight. So my first question for y'all, just as kind of a prerequisite, have any of us in this room, this virtual room, played Persona 5 yet?
I haven't.
No.
Okay, well, our first question, Anonymous said to Video Game Choo Choo, what do you think of the darker atmosphere of Persona 5 in comparison to the upbeat vibe of 4? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen of like all the promotional materials, I'm into it from a visual standpoint, but I haven't played any of the games, so I can't really comment on how dark the atmosphere is. Anything to add?
Yeah, I can't. I can't really say anything about that. I'm sorry.
Apologies, Anonymous. But that's okay, because Anonymous also asks, a lot of people think Torbjorn is sexy now. What is your stance on the issue? John, is Torbjorn sexy now?
What changed?
I think this person may be referring to the weird Torbjorn skin that I was talking about earlier, where he doesn't have the beard and he looks like a plumber from the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, that looks awful.
It looks terrible.
How could you say that? Like, look, I'm not gonna diss people for their tastes.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like if you're into Torbjorn, you're into the bearded, like, full-on, like, standard Torbjorn.
Yeah, Torbjorn Classic.
If you're looking at that new Torbjorn, like it's like new Coke. You don't want it. It's to make you appreciate old Coke, old Torbjorn more. Like I feel like I do. Like I don't think old Torbjorn is sexy, but I'm like way more accepting of him now. I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, that's just old Torbjorn. That's fine. He's gonna say, "Come get your armor," and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, dude." That new Torbjorn tries to get me to come over and get some armor, I'm gonna tell him to kiss my ass. There is no way I'm getting armor from that clown.
Torbjorn's always been sexy. If you're gonna be a real Torbjorn fan, you're gonna love him for who he is.
Man, I've gotta agree with John on this one. I think Torbjorn has the most repulsive character design in the entirety of Overwatch, but this new Torbjorn thing is like a reverse heel situation where the only reason they have him is to make everyone else more tolerable. Like I see this new Torbjorn skin, and I think that looks like a man who is going to star in a pornography film about getting my pipes fixed. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want the opposite of that. I want anything else but that. Like, I had to buy the fucking biker Torbjorn skin because it was the only way I could look at him without feeling like I was going to throw up in the back of my mouth. And now it's like 8 times worse. Every time I see that new Torbjorn, I curse the day that Overwatch was born. And I hate it. I guess I will put a caveat on that, John. Like you said, like if you wanna crank Torbjorn's turret, then more power to you,
Ooh.
I suppose. But geez, even by my standards, I can't. Ugh. He's a repulsive goblin man, and I hate him. I'm gonna push him down the stairs. Anyway, to prevent this from going on too long, I'll go ahead and move on to our next question.
Holy shit.
Anonymous said to Video Game Choo Choo, I wanted to try a MOBA for a while, but the hyper-competitive nature of the scene has kept me away. So my question is, has the culture surrounding a game ever steered you away from playing it? John?
Well, I mean, I've, dipped my toes in a lot of fighting games, but it's very hard to get into those scenes because of the competitiveness, and B, because there are just times where those scenes are really gross and just awful. Like, there are some awful people in there, and don't get me wrong, there's also so much kindness and so many great people doing great things in those scenes, but it's hard to get into scenes like that, especially when those terrible people are the ones winning the most prizes and doing the best, you know? I mean, it's kind of hard to say, hey, you're a shitheads, you're not allowed to enter and win. Because if you're good, you're good. But at the same time, it's like, man, that guy's a complete asshole, but he's good at Street Fighter, or he's good at Melee. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's 100% Overwatch. There's days when I'm just so sick of just people on Overwatch who just want to be so competitive when you're just playing quick play. And I think that goes without saying. I feel like everybody has that feeling for Overwatch, at least. I mean, that's the only game I can really think of, because I didn't grow up being, a competitive gamer. Me and my brothers would compete with each other, and we'd be really competitive with each other, but I never got on, World of Warcraft, or, I don't know, is Minecraft competitive? Who knows?
I don't know. I think Minecraft just kind of exists outside the general sphere of gaming at this point. It's like its own thing, kind of. I think the word I'm looking for is, seceded. Seceded from games.
Yeah, but I think the only way to really, deal with it is just to kind of push through it and find a way of just ignoring it, and I don't know, just telling yourself it's just a game and you're here to have fun, and if people are going to try to ruin it, then just let them try, because the only people that they're making miserable is themselves.
Nice. It's good. It's a good attitude to have. I mean, you know, I was gonna follow that up with something, but I completely forgot, as I want to do. So,
yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Yeah, I typically get turned away from games kind of mostly around the hype that surrounds them, and less of the, well, I guess by proxy it would be the player culture, but just the fan culture. One of the reasons, aside from the fact that it was originally on Vita, one of the reasons it took me this long to play Danganronpa is because when that game came out, I thought the fans were fucking insufferable.
Oh my
like,
god,
every day,
yes.
Every day I would log on to, Tumblr or whatever, and I'd see like 5 billion posts about Danganronpa sprite avatars in post, and just text logs from it just flooding and flooding and flooding my timeline. And, when I first joined the site and, John, you recommended those games, I was kind of like, really? Like those games? And then I'm glad I finally, sat down and played it, because they're fucking fantastic games, or at least the first one is, because I still haven't gotten around to the second one. And, sometimes for me, it's just waiting until the initial blast of it has sort of passed on. When I first started playing Space Station 13, which I still like to this day, well, scratch that, which I haven't played in a while is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's been a hot minute since I've touched that game. When I first started playing that, there's a lot of, that kind of elitist sort of 4chan-y culture about it, because it's such like an obtuse game to get into, I suppose. But, I really liked that game when I played it. And even, like, to this day, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, like, pick that game up again, but then I'm gonna have to, like, relearn how to do everything, and I'm gonna have to deal with people who, are just, like that, and that sort of thing. So, I don't know. I think the answer to this question for most people is probably yes. I think everybody has had some kind of experience with a game that has turned them away from it based on the culture. Mm-hmm. So, I think that answers that, so we can go ahead and move on. Mm-hmm. PSI Kick said to Video Game Choo Choo, which Disney character do you most want to see punch Sora in the face? It's pretty. It's a wide open question. Come on, any Disney character. I will say from my answer, I was pretty satisfied just in Kingdom Hearts 2 seeing the classic beloved Disney character Pete rendered as a lion for whatever reason, which was like the most terrifying thing ever and didn't involve punching Sora in the face, but nonetheless, that was good. In terms of an actual punch, I think one of them would be Hades from Hercules, just because he'd be voiced by James Woods, and I love James Woods. Another one, a more recent Disney character, maybe they rotoscoped the live action Beast from Beauty and the Beast into that game. And he's like, hey Sora, I'm the live action Beast. My movie sucked. And I'm mad, so let's battle. And then it's like, oh shit, bonus battle with live action Beast. And it's like an FMV where you fight the live action Beast and he punches Sora in the face. Anyone
smacks him straight in the fucking face.
Yeah, smacks him into like Kingdom Hearts 6. Like, Kingdom Hearts 6 is just like a search for the missing sequels after he got punched in the face.
The missing sequels.
Yeah.
Spaceballs 3. My vote would be hyper realistic Tron Legacy Jeff Bridges.
Oh my god. He's in Dream Drop Distance.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I just want him to wind up and just clock Sora one. Just be like, hey man, just that's it.
No. Trex, do you have any input on this?
My answer is very simple. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, fuck.
That's good.
I imagine a recreation of the classic pull the trigger piglet meme,
Sora needs to shove his fucking keyblade through Pooh's skull.
Jesus.
Silence him once and for all.
Yeah. I was expecting more like, it's 100 Acre Woods and it's pretty much the same as usual. But then Pooh suddenly like winds up out of nowhere and he has like a cartoonishly large boxing glove on one hand and just socks Sora so hard. Like maybe that's how the pages get scattered in the third game. Like they had a falling out and Pooh punched Sora so hard that it ripped all the 100 Acre Woods pages out of the book. And he has to go find them all again.
Sora, I'm so sick of your shit. Don't bother.
Forgive me for what I must yabba dabba poo, and then he just clocks him into the next century. Okay.
Pooh is pissed.
Yeah. Anonymous asks Video Game Choo Choo, what is the one feature that makes any game more enjoyable in your eyes? Trex, you got anything?
I think sound design.
Sure.
I definitely think that sound design can make or break a video game. Like, we discussed it on the Night of the Woods spoiler cast about how wonderful the music is and just the little details that really, truly immerses you in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's things like, I didn't mention this earlier, but in Yooka-Laylee, there's very repetitive loud noises that are louder than the rest of the game that you have to hear every time you fucking step. And it makes me want to rip off my fucking ears and flush them down a toilet.
What did the steps sound like? Like I know you play as like the chameleon. Mm-hmm. So is it like a wet plop where it's like?
Okay, so
or is it
it's not
is it
when
more
you're
like
normal.
like
Banjo-Kazooie, you can transform into different objects or animals or whatever, and in the first world, I can't imagine this would be a spoiler, but in the first world you have the option to turn into a flower. Imagine the most stereotypical Looney Tunes cartoony boing sound,
Oh my
every
god.
time you fucking hop, you hear that fucking sound, and it's twice as loud as anything else. Not only that, you move so fucking slow. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I want to fucking die.
Yeah, I appreciate that you have no dearth of topics to discuss on the heinousness of Yooka-Laylee, but I'm going to swing this one over to John for the sake of time.
My answer is similar, but it's less sound design and more music. For some reason, for me, if a game has a really memorable soundtrack that like perfectly matches the gameplay and like helps to, accentuate what's going on and doesn't get repetitive, etc., that just makes the game all the more special to me. Like, I haven't even played Persona 5. And I can tell you that Persona 5 is going to mean a lot to me just because I'm already driving around just like scream singing, "You never saw it coming!" Like, I love it.
Yeah. I agree with both of y'all, honestly. Like, those are really two big things for me. Both sound design and soundtrack, and like, I could rattle off a few, like Silent Hill, great fucking soundtrack, BioShock, which is more like sound design, Undertale, Night in the Woods,
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, City Escape.
Yeah. Even Overwatch, I kind of made an argument for last year in Game of the Year. That game has great sound design for being what it is. And, stuff like that. Something a little more explicit that is a lot more unique to a very small handful of games is if your game has a character that is a robot that has high heels, then I will love it immediately. Metal Gear Rising, Nier Automata, I had some third thing, but now I can't think of it. So, two
Undertale.
very specific games. Oh yeah, fuck, you're right. Shit, fuck, I played myself. God damn it, I should have remembered that. Anyway, so yeah, that's like the holy trinity, I guess. We got two more questions, so we can go ahead.
God,
and
you
pop
know what?
along. What?
Oh man, a fucking platinum character action game where you're playing as Metaton. Holy shit!
Holy fuck, John, this is all I'm going to think about for the next 2 weeks. I Anonymous.
But the question is, which version of Mettaton would you want to play as the most?
Well, I think you'd play as a Mettaton EX the most, but you'd have a mode where you could play as like regular Mettaton too, I think.
The prequel, and then like near the end, you just go like Supernova and turn into Mettaton Neo.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, what would the game mechanic of that be? Being the regular Mettaton then turning into Mettaton EX, like maybe for like stealth mode you have to be the regular Mettaton, and then for combat you transform to EX.
You trying to tell me that motherfucker was stealthy at all in that game?
Okay, listen. I'm just trying to like implement some kind of like sticking at the wall. You know what? We'll come back to this. Stay tuned for the hour and a half long Game Jam podcast where John and I brainstorm the fucking Mettaton game by Platinum.
Undertale spoiler cast 2.
We made that joke like 3 times on the fucking Night in the Woods spoiler cast.
I wasn't even on it.
Yeah. Anonymous asks, summer is almost here. What game makes you feel sweaty? Undertale, when I played the Mettaton boss fight.
Oh my god.
I had like a legitimate answer. Some games, like, when I play them, my hands get sweaty because I'm so stressed while playing them, and I get so into it. I sometimes during the Dark Souls games, when it got intense enough, I'd be like, ooh. Sometimes during Overwatch, also. I feel like there was a couple more, but anything, like, I feel like you can take this game, or this question, either way, but, I don't know. Any game that's, like, super intense, edge of my seat, like my palms are going to get a little bit knees weak, arms spaghetti, if you know what I mean. So how about y'all? What's a game that makes you feel sweaty?
I think the only game that really raises my heartbeat enough for me to physically sweat is Overwatch, just because I'm so stressed out. Especially when I'm playing Torbjorn. That really makes me sweat.
God. I for the final like 5 minutes of this podcast, I'm putting a moratorium on Torbjorn discussion. I don't want to hear his fucking name, like, for the rest of this evening. John, how about you?
Oh my god. That's a good question. I mean, like, pretty much any kind of, like, platformer that has some challenging bits. Like, I remember when I was playing Super Mario Maker and I was playing all those tough levels.
Yeah.
My entire body was clenched. Like, every muscle in my body was just like, like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine trying some of those harder levels again.
Yeah. My, sorry, now go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, there have definitely been moments where, in, like, action games and stuff like that, where, like, just shit's going down, and I'm just like, oh god, whew, like...
Yeah. The most recent example I can think for me is playing the first Danganronpa and getting to the end of the first class trial. Like, I expected none of the gameplay mechanics that they throw at you during that, and it's just so non-stop. Like, by the end of it, I was like, oh, I can breathe again. Like, I was, from the beginning of that trial to the ending of the execution, I was, like, in a fucking state. Like, my heart was stopped for, like, 30 minutes. So yeah. Shoeless, for our final question. And remember, you can send questions to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask or podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. And to quote Michael, you'll sound a little bit like Shoeless, who asks, what is your favorite pet in a video game?
Ooh.
Wow, so, okay. I think I might have an answer for this. My favorite pet in a video game. Well, first of all, there's like the entirety of like Nintendogs, so that's really something.
I was literally gonna say that.
Sorry to steal your thunder. Do Pokemon count as pets, or are those more like partners?
Those are partners. Same thing with like Pikmin.
Sure. My favorite pet. God, there's some game I was playing where the character has a cat for some reason. And I can't remember what it was. It's not Persona 5, obviously. And it's God, what was that? Now I can't even remember. You know what? My favorite pet in a video game is the fucking cat in Metal Gear Rising, where you slice at it and it does a ninja dodge out of the way. Like, that's the good shit. John, Trex, anyone? Please.
Well, I have one, and of course, I'm bringing it up again, baby. Gotta do it every episode. The cat, Jean from No More Heroes. Especially in No More Heroes 2, because Jean got real fat, and then you have to help her lose weight. So you just kind of like rub her stomach and make her like roll around on the ground, and then you have to pick her up a bunch. Mm-hmm. And then once she loses enough weight, you learn a new attack, and it's great.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's what you were going to say, but that's
come on.
When I read this question, I immediately thought of the mini game in that game. So
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's not really a pet, but it's for certain an animal. But the dogs that you'd roll over in Katamari, I love them so much.
Yeah, that's a pretty good choice. All right, that does it for questions. So, John, the talking baton is back in your hands.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan, and that will do it for this week's episode. I'd like to thank Ryan for doing the questions and for being on here, and Trex for also being on here. You were both lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, you're lovely.
It's my pleasure.
And I would just like to thank you, the listener, for downloading this episode. And I would also like to thank you in advance for spreading the word. We are still trying our hardest to get our numbers up. So if you would, go on iTunes and rate and review us.
Yeah.
And link our stuff around. Our podcasts, our videos, our articles. Hell, just if you're just hanging out with someone, just say videogamechoochoo.com, and people will be like, what the hell are you talking about? And just be like, figure it out yourself.
Dang.
And then they'll have a plethora of things to search through, because they got the whole website to look at.
Yeah.
So just, share it with a friend, mysteriously or otherwise.
Ooh.
It's a great conversation starter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be like, have you heard of Video Game Choo Choo? They'll be like, no. And be like, oh, my friend, the night is young. But again, thank you very much for listening, and we will be back with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast next week. I hope you listened to the Night in the Woods spoiler cast if you could. If you didn't,
check it out.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye-bye.